side, you see Doug Moe 432 on the other. You're at 431. I know from our conversations, you know how important he's been to the city. What does it make you think when you think I'm one win away from passing, or from tying and then passing what felt like an unbreakable record?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't really spent a whole lot of time thinking about it. But as you present that question, Adam, and I said this before, I've had a chance to spend time with Doug Moe, had a chance to listen to stories about Doug Moe from my father. And I think he'll always be, forget numbers, I think he'll always be the greatest coach in Nuggets history. Everything he's done for this franchise, his personality, his imprint, and there's a reason that banner is up there. And on the other side of that coin that means I've been here for a long time, around some great players and some great coaches that have helped me. And those types of things are always about who you surround yourself with. But yeah, I'm just worried about beating New Orleans.
Real quick on that though, Brendan Malone, I obviously didn't know him, but he seemed very different from Doug Moe personality-wise. I'm curious what he had to say about him, and with the reputation that you know of Doug Moe.
Oh, he loved him because he was a man's man, real guy, no bullshit about him, great sense of humor, would call a spade a spade. And my father, when he got into the NBA in his 30 years, just loved every interaction he ever had with Doug. And he got a big kick out of him. And I know a few years ago when we were in San Antonio, I invited, Coach Moe, Big Jane, his family over to a game, and I'm hoping to reconnect with him because I have just a ton of respect for who he is and obviously his body of work and everything he did here.
In order to get there, like you said, you're focused on the next win, but do you take time to appreciate, like Jamal said, you're the only coach he's known, that you've been here long enough, you know how hard this business is, you saw it with your dad, it's hard to stay anywhere for a long time, let alone as long as you have.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the reasons my father didn't want me to become a coach. He actually tried to talk me out of it several times because of all the pitfalls of the life of a coach. You're traveling, not a lot of security. And when I do step back and think about the fact that you have Coach Pop, and on a side note, I hope he's feeling better. Our thoughts and prayers are with him. But you have Coach Pop, you have Spo in Miami, you have Steve Kerr in Golden State, and then you have me, who's in his 10th year. And what I do, I don't think about 432. What I think about is being here for 10 years and never taking that for granted. Because I work for an ownership group that has continued to believe in me. Tim Connolly, 10 years ago, felt confident enough in my abilities to bring me and endorse me to Josh Kroenke, along with Arturas Karnisovas, for me to get this job. That's what I think about. My father would tell me stories, and every night when we listen to the national anthem, I say cherish and savor every moment in the NBA, because I got the best job in the world, and I'm truly grateful for that.
Aaron Gordon getting some work in uniform. Was he
Oh,
able
you're
to
going to go in a different direction, huh?
Is that okay? Does that work with everyone?
That works with me.
You seemed ready to go, ready to move on. Simple one for you. Was Aaron able to participate?
Enough about me.
Yeah.
What do you think about me?
You just tune into the show, Coach. You've heard
yes, Aaron's getting work in. Obviously, still not able to really participate in practice. Those calf strains can be really tricky, really finicky. So you have to be careful how much you're pushing it because you want it to heal. And so I think Aaron's in a good place. He's heading in the right direction, but no real timeline as of when he'll be back. He won't play in this upcoming road trip in New Orleans and Memphis, but I'm just happy he's making strides. He's in a good place mentally, and and while he's been out, we've been able to hold down the fort, and guys are stepping up.
We're seeing the growth of Christian and Julian Payton finishing games. You talk about taking nothing for granted. The way you coach is that way. How do those young guys earn your trust? Christian was saying maybe it's even just how he plays, the work habits. Is it a combination of that with production? How do young guys earn their trust as they're clearly starting to do here early in the season?
Yeah, well, I mean, with Christian in particular, you look at his 3-year journey, and as a rookie, he was in and out of the rotation. We get to the playoffs, then Game 3 in Miami.
Right.
Here's a rookie that goes out there and carries us for a quarter and helps us get a really important Game 3 win in Miami. And in my heart, when I look at Christian Braun, I know that he was a winner in high school, won championships. I know he's a winner at Kansas. I know he was a winner, helped us win a championship a few years ago. And aside from knowing he's a winner, the other intangibles I know about Christian Braun, which has nothing to do with making and missing shots, is he's tough as nails, he's aggressive, and he's not scared. And I'll go to battle with guys like that day in and day out. And then you think about the basketball and how efficient he's been. And obviously the only way you get real confidence as a player is by doing it. And one of the things my father told me, probably one of the best lessons he ever taught me as a coach, was the greatest gift I can give any player is confidence. And how do you do that? You let a player play, and you let a player play through his mistakes. You keep him out there in a close game. And even if he's not doing, as well as you would have hoped, like that's why Julian Strawther sends me a message. Thanks for sticking with me. Because those things matter. And so for Julian and for Christian and for Peyton, all the experience they're getting right now is just tremendous. They're taking advantage of it, and that's only going to help us as we move forward into this season and hopefully into the playoffs.
Sean Payton was saying that it's demonstrated ability. I've heard it said that it's hard to have confidence without results. So at some point as a coach, you inspire, you give them it, then it turn around and hope that leads to them doing it, right? It's a two-way street.
It is. I mean, because part of me trusting is you got to prove yourself to be trustworthy.
Right.
I mean, it's not blind trust. You keep on going at this. Well, at some point, listen, I don't know if I have the same amount of trust, but I also have to remind myself, take a step back, because Josh and I talk all the time, and he'll say, well, your job as a coach is like, you're worried about the next game. How do we win? But I want to be more than just that coach is worried about the next win. I want to take a step back and the bigger picture and understand that if I show confidence now, even if there's a step backwards for us, it's going to help us in the future. And that's really important, because it's not just about today, it's about where we're going and who we're going there with.
How much more competitive juice do you have going into in-season tournament games this season?
Can you feel it? It's palpable. It's like emanating. It's emanating. I mean, I understand. I think obviously last year, the Lakers, the inaugural champions of that, and I think it's a great idea. I love the fact that we'll say this, that Adam Silver and the league are constantly trying to find ways to bring fan engagement and excitement and viewership. So I love that. But I'd be lying if I said that an in-season tournament game, or the Emirates Cup, is that the proper vernacular? The Emirates Cup games count more than the other games. Every game for any coach is important, all 82. And yes, we'd love to be able to be a team that could win that and win a championship, which is yet to be done. Obviously only in its second year, but it'll be great to get that going. They do a lot of advertising. I got my shirt, wearing it. I got a little shout out. We'll have some really fancy courts, colorful courts, and but it doesn't get me more hyped for that game than any others, to be very honest.
You guys are living at the rim this year, just in terms of how many shots you're taking there, but you're shooting a lower percentage than the last 2 years. Is that something that you think will even out with more of a sample, or are there certain things you're seeing just from that part of the floor?
I would say it's funny. I think we're living at the rim and we're living at the foul line, which has been. The rim has been pretty consistent, getting there, and I think early in the season we were really struggling to finish. But I think we're 7-1 in our last 8. The finishing numbers have really improved as of late. The Dallas game, we took a step backward. We missed 15 shots in the restricted area, which is not a good number, obviously, which means we missed 15 layups. But I do think that number is going to come up, and the challenge that we talked about as a coaching staff, and trying to work on it in player development and practice, is some of the shots at the rim are bad shots. Like, they're really tough shots, high degree of difficulty shots. I think we can be generating more paint threes. We're getting to the paint, we're drawing. Let's kick out for paint threes. And our paint three numbers have been fantastic in terms of percentage, but now we have to generate more of those. So continue to be aggressive, get into the paint, live at the foul line. If you got a great chance to finish, do so, but move on penetration and generate some kickouts. I think can help us as well.
Christian, how do you evaluate the team through 10 games? Like, what do you think the team's really accomplished, and what do you think is the biggest thing to accomplish?
I mean, we're playing better now. Honestly, we didn't start how we wanted to the first 2 games, but we're playing better. I think that offensively we're playing really well, and that helps. But things we got to tighten up defensively. But as long as we're winning games, that's what matters. And we're always happy when we get win.
There were questions coming in here about you going to the starting, Peyton getting more Julian, how gratifying is it to see how the young guys are playing, yourself finishing games, seeing that improvement, that growth over this first 10 games?
Well, I think, like I said, just as long as we're winning, that's what we want to do. We didn't start out how we wanted to, and I think Hayden got comfortable. I got a little more comfortable. We're playing well now. We try to keep that up. We can't relax. Every game's going to be a big game going forward. We got a 43 games coming up. So we try to focus on that. It's not what we've done. We've only played 10 games. We haven't done anything. So we're just going to try to stay hungry. I know PY, I know you will. Obviously, young guys got to stay hungry. And I think that helps us in the regular season. Young guys got a lot of energy. It's only these next 3 games. We're going to be important games for us. And we try to take one game at a time.
You are a younger guy, but how nice is it with so many games early, kind of every other day, to have an extended rest, I guess, before between games?
Yeah, it feels kind of weird, honestly. I don't feel like we don't get a break like this very often. And I like it, but at the same time, I feel like we were getting in the rhythm. We were getting high a little bit. We were playing well. Offensively, things were clicking, but I know that especially Joker, he's put a lot of minutes, so we gotta make sure he gets rest and everybody stays healthy. That's important. A lot of you want to stay as healthy as possible and be playing as well as possible. So as long as we're winning, I think we're doing the right things. We're building the right habits. Like I said, we got some things to tighten up, but as long as we're stacking wins, we're happy.
What are the biggest keys to playing in a starting lineup with Nikola?
Just play hard. I think that he's gonna, he's gonna throw you in the right spot sometimes. He's gonna pass you into the right spot sometimes. You just gotta play hard. You gotta be willing to learn, willing to listen. And you're never gonna be perfect. Just try to soak up as much as you can throughout the year. So when it is a playoff time, you know what you're doing. You know where you're supposed to be at. And he can trust you, and he feels like he can count on you to do certain things. So that's built through games. That's built through winning. That's built through being in those big moments. So this is good for us. I think that's good for all the young guys, to earn his trust, to earn Jamal's trust, earn the coach's trust. And we also have to do that, Like I said, we're young. We haven't done shit yet, so we're still hungry. We're still trying to earn trust. We're still trying to, stack wins and, kind of gain their respect.
Jamal said that this is what the next level looks like for Joker. He's not the greatest start in NBA history through 10 games. Did you ever think there was another level to him?
It feels like there is because he works. He works so hard. I feel like I say this all the time. But, he's in the gym. He's in the training room so often. So it feels like he can't do any more. But then when he's in a position when he needs to do more, it feels like he makes every play. He makes every defensive play. He gets every deflection. That's what people don't realize. He makes every play on us for offense. He makes sure they play for us. But he's been amazing on defense. He's been really good. He's getting his hands on the ball pretty often. He's kicking the ball when he can. So he's really important on that end. When he's good on that end, that's when we're at our best. And he's been great, obviously. It's just fun to watch, fun to play with. He's helped me out a lot, and he's helped everybody else out a lot. So it's fun to watch, and it's hard to see if there's a different level, but he's been amazing.
I guess Coach Malone's closing in on the all-time wins record here for a Nuggets coach, and then Bill Self sent it to Kansas last night. You spend a lot of time thinking about, not everybody has it as, I guess, consistent as he does, as lucky, but also as good to have just a couple coaches in the places you've played to have just a few coaches in certain recent years.
Yeah, I've been very, very fortunate, with my coaches. I started out in high school with a Hall of Fame coach that I talk to every day, to this day, pretty often. But obviously I appreciate what Coach Self did for me. What he's done is amazing. The culture he's built. Obviously I looked up to him and got to play for him, so that was pretty cool. And then, I get to come into an organization that's already, has the culture established. They're guys that want to win. They want to do things the right way. He's got a whole staff that wants to do things the right way. So, obviously I appreciate Coach Malone. I appreciate, Coach Self. And there's some similarities there too, but they're obviously just guys that really want to win. They're very competitive. They're very good at what they do. They work hard at what they do. And so I'm very fortunate, to have those guys, and I appreciate them.
What do you think Malone has meant to this franchise?
Yeah, like I said, I think that his level of competitiveness, helps build habits. If you got a guy that's obsessed with winning like that, that's contagious. And even sometimes when it's game 62, and Coach Mo's, all mad that about how we're playing on defense, in a game that we feel is pointless. That's how you build habits, and that's why. There's a lot of different factors, but Coach Mo's obviously a big reason why this team is where it's at, this organization is where it's at. And like I said, it's just his level of competitiveness, you know, how much he cares, how much he wants to win. You know, that's what makes this team build habits. That's what kind of built our culture. And his fieriness is, you know, how competitive he is. I think the biggest reason why this organization's here.
Is that what makes, like you said about building trust? You know his personality, and you know what you have to do on the other end to build his trust. Because he's trying to win every night, in which some NBA teams, it feels like that maybe, you know, the way they do their lineup, he literally coaches to win every game.
Well, yeah, and I think that, like I said, that helps us build our defensive habits. And sometimes NBA teams don't want to do that every night. You know, he kind of forces you to do that. And that's really good for us. It's been really good for our team. But, you know, building his trust is not really, you know, I just go out there and try to play hard. I think he appreciates that. It's not something that I try to target or, you know, try to talk to him about. I just go out there and try to, you know, play as hard as I can, be in the right spots, you know, listen to what he's talking about, listen to what Joker's saying, listen to what Jamal's telling me. You know, try to take pieces of what I've learned and apply it. When I go out there and play, I just try to play the same way, play really hard. I think that's where you earn people's trust. You know, those guys don't really care as much as you make shots. As long as you're playing hard, you know, you want to win. I think that's what Joker appreciates too. You know, Joker wants to win every game. The same way Coach Malone wants to win every game. So, you know, if you go out there and compete, you play hard, you do things the right way. You show up here in the mornings and you do things the right way. That's how you gain their trust. You know, that takes time.
One more. You're only 3 years into your career, so maybe this doesn't apply to you, but I'm curious your insight. We saw Klay Thompson return to the Warriors, change teams. Do you think players in the NBA today look at getting to play for one franchise for their whole career as like a badge of honor? Is it something you think players really aspire to be able to do?
I would hope. I mean, I would hope that's you know, everybody's goal. I think that there's different situations. You know, you got to do what's best for you. So certain guys got to take. You know, everybody has a different situation. So I'm not going to comment on anybody's situation, but I do hope that, you know, everybody wants to build that, you know, that loyalty to a team, you know, to a fan base. It was really cool with, you know, Klay and with the hats and everything like that last night. There's some really cool pictures, really cool moments, and I think everybody wants to, you know, have a home and have, you know, a place where they're at for a long time, a place they win at. You know, but sometimes it's hard to do. Like I said, you have different, you know, situations and needs. But I would hope everybody wants that. I definitely want that. You know, that's something that, you know, is big for me. I love being in Kansas for my time. You know, I don't like the whole transfer portal thing. I think it makes things weird. But I do understand. Like I said, everybody has different situations, and you know, you got to take care of business for yourself. But I think it's really cool when, you know, guys are on the team for a long time and they, you know, they go through the ups and downs, and that's what it's all about. You know, it's not always about winning every year. You're not going to win every year, but you know, when you build a relationship with coaches, with teammates, you know, with the fan base, that's what's important, and that's kind of what it's all about, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Hey, Brett.
Quick, Jamal, what was the emphasis on practice today?
Just here to get better. Had a couple days off, which was nice. So today just getting back in the gym, getting up and down, just moving, some blood flow. Good execution today. We had some plays, some ATOs. So I think everybody's got a playbook in their mind right now.
When you look back at the first 10 games, what are you proud of that the team's accomplished, and what do you think is the biggest thing they got accomplished next?
It's just constant growth. That we see ourselves growing and getting better, so it's just about going there, executing and playing our game, and having fun while doing it. So I think, you know, everybody's in a great headspace, and we're just trying to stack these wins early on and keep the flow going. So obviously we can improve on everything, on free throws, transition, rebounding, turnovers. We've gotten better as the season goes on.
What do you see in the growth of the young guys? Christian's obviously a great start. Peyton's finished with some games. Braun is starting to finish. I know how important that was to you before the season. Like, these guys understand. It's an effort to see those two specifically, especially to
I just get more comfortable. Whatever it is, if it's a play call or looking for actions or openings within the play call, just be more comfortable, not being so robotic and just playing more free. Showing more confidence, looking to get their own and place others. So I think just sum it up, just be more comfortable all in all, and locked in, dialed in.
With the way the schedule's gone, a lot of games in a short amount of time, how nice is this? A couple days off, and that's basically 5 days between games.
Yeah, I mean, it's great. I'm not sure the next time we'll have this. So everybody's obviously enjoying it. Just getting our bodies right, getting our minds right. You know, you get to be in the gym, but not just performing every night. So it's nice to have these days off, recoup, regenerate for everybody, coaches included, and back to it on Friday.
Coach Malone's close to becoming the franchise leader when he wins. So I guess what's your favorite thing about playing for him?
Oh, shit.
A few things you enjoy about playing.
Super organized. Just featuring his work ethic. I think he comes into every game prepared. Knowing personnel, sometimes more than the players. I think that consistently shows where his head's at. He wanted to win. He's everybody accountable. Trying to love the most. Other than that, man, we've had a relationship growing up since I got here, right? So it's good to have the same coach your entire career and you both be able to adapt to each other. Not just me, but other guys out there on the team as well. So congratulations to him. It's a great coach.
It's the second year of the in-season tournament thing. Does it mean anything extra, or is it pretty much just whatever, all regular?
Sure. I mean, the prize is 500 K. So just want to for a little more.
You were part of that commercial for it, right?
Yeah.
Did all of you guys who filmed that get together to
No,
do it, or was separate kind of stuff?
It was cool. Cool commercial. Cool being. We did it in Vegas. So
There's certainly plenty of conversation about the different courts where you come down on the colorful courts.
I don't know, man. It's too much of a distraction for me, but I don't care. I just don't. Some are better than the others, hopefully they'll be better this year, but I'm indifferent, man. I'm just here to go basketball.
What's the most distracting color to have to play on?
Like red, like the bright ones, unless it's too bright or too much,
Did you meet Shohei when you did the Jokic commercial, or was he sitting home?
No, it's all different. It's all different.
You're touching the ball quite a bit less. I think 1 minute less per game of possession time in the half court this year. Is that something you think is by design, by the way the team just is different this year? Like, what do you think plays into that?
Bringing the ball up and going straight into a post up and getting a bucket.
Good play call.
Yeah, so sometimes it just breaks off the play and that just happens and we all react to it. So I don't think I would look too much into it.
Do you feel like spacing is different at all for you, like turning the corners and pick and roll compared to last year?
No, it depends on who's in the slot though. If that's what you're talking about. If it's Mike, then they're not leaving him, right? So sometimes it's different. Sometimes it's a quick hand back and rush drives and everybody collapses and it just takes a little longer for everybody to get the ball or play to develop or whatever. So no, I don't. It's all situational.
Jamal, as you can imagine, when you guys got those first two right out of the gate, people want to panic mode for them to outside the building. How nice is it now after 10 games to calm things down, 1-5 in a row, won all those at home?
We never panicked. You guys maybe do that. We know how it goes. There's so many up and downs. You just can't get flustered or worried or anything like that. Even when you're playing well, you can't get too happy and too lax out there, so complacent. So we know how it goes. We got a long season. We're only 10 games in. So I'm sure he'll ride the wave again.
Jokic is always better than anyone. Are you even surprised at his start? Like he's after the greatest 10-game start in the history of NBA.
Yeah, I mean he's amazing. We just seen the game at a great pace. I'm not gonna say shooting the ball really well. He's not even shooting like a lot of middies. He's just shooting threes and floaters. So I just think he's locked in. He's just being super aggressive, and that's the outcome. I think I remember saying that there's another level that you can get to. I think we're seeing it right now. Just being consistent and being more aggressive, more assertive than you guys are used to.
How much of support meant to this stuff for you guys too, especially with you missing some games, Aaron missing some games, he's been way up and staggering more with the second unit. What's kind of the usage for him?
Keep doing what he's doing. He's doing great, man. Just, like I said, he's playing aggressive. Getting to spots, getting downhill, making shots, playing defense. So we rely on him between the floor, stretch the floor, and bring the big out a little bit, or make him think about it. Just be a matchup problem out there. I forget he's 6'10" and he still shoots over you. So I think he's been playing amazing. He's only getting better this season.